I don't know if anyone will believe me, but I need to get this out before it finishes what it started. I work for the city subway maintenance crew, night shifts mostly. It's quiet work, checking tunnels, clearing debris, making sure the trains can keep running smoothly. Most of it is just routine. But what I saw under line 7, none of that was normal. It started about 3 weeks ago when we got a report of a weird smell. In the section between Brighton Street and Elmhurst Station, people said it smelled like rot, like meat left out too long. So I went down there one night around 1 a.m. when the trains stopped running. When I stepped off the service platform, I noticed the walls looked wet, like someone had sprayed the entire tunnel with a fine mist. The bricks glistened under my flashlight, slick and dark. I bent closer and saw that the moisture was actually a thin film of something that looked biological, like translucent skin stretched too tight. I touched it, just for a second. It felt warm. The next day, my fingers were red and swollen. I figured it was an allergic reaction, maybe some kind of mold. But by the end of the week, the redness had spread up my wrist. It didn't hurt, it just itched, constantly. I kept scratching until the skin flaked off like scales. I went to a clinic. The doctor said it looked like a fungal infection, prescribed antifungal cream, told me not to worry. But the cream didn't help. The rash kept spreading. When I peeled back the top layer of skin one night, I saw something glistening underneath. Not blood, not flesh. It was fibrous, like the threads of a mushroom stem, pale and smooth, pulsing slightly, like it had its own heartbeat. I told my supervisor, Mark, that we needed to shut down the section for inspection. He laughed it off, said we can't close a major subway line because of a bit of slime. So I went down there again, alone. That was my second mistake. When I reached the infected area, the air felt heavier. My flashlight beam caught something new, what looked like vines crawling up the wall, except they were made of that same translucent material. They twitched when I passed the light over them. Then I heard something, breathing, not the echo of my own breath, but something wet and ragged, deeper in the tunnel. I turned and saw what looked like a person, or what was left of one. It wore a subway maintenance jacket, but its skin was fused with the wall, stretched tight like melted wax. The face was half sunk into the brick, the mouth still moving, like it was trying to scream. The eyes were open and cloudy, following me as I stepped back. I dropped my flashlight. By the time I picked it up again, it had stopped moving. That night, I noticed the rash had reached my neck. The itching stopped completely. Instead, I felt numb. But under that numbness, I could sense movement, like something shifting beneath the skin, pushing outward. I tried to cut one of the patches open with a box cutter. I don't know what I expected, blood, pus, something, but instead, a thin white fluid oozed out. It smelled like the tunnel. When I wiped it away, I saw something that made me gag. A small white thread, wriggling like a worm, disappearing back into the wound. 2 days later, I got a call from Mark. He said one of the new guys hadn't come back from a solo check. Same tunnel. I told him not to go down there, but he wouldn't listen. He hung up. He hasn't answered his phone since. Now the city's saying Line 7 is under maintenance due to electrical issues. They'd sealed off both ends of the tunnel, but I've been watching the news. There are reports of a strange growth near Elmhurst Station, wet patches seeping through the concrete. Commuters complaining about the same smell. Some have reported feeling dizzy after waiting too long on the platform. I know what's happening. It's spreading. The walls are breathing. As for me, I can't hide it anymore. The threads have reached my jawline. When I open my mouth, I can feel them moving along my gums. My teeth feel loose, like they're being pushed out, to make room for something else. Last night, I woke up to find a translucent layer growing over my window. It wasn't there when I fell asleep. I think I brought it home. I can hear it whispering through the vents, a wet, rhythmic sound, like the tunnels are calling me back. I think it wants to finish what it started. If anyone reading this works for the subway authority, please don't go into line 7. Don't touch the walls. Don't breathe too deep. It's not mold. It's not fungus. It's hungry. Internal investigation log, recovered from Department of Transit Maintenance database, access level restricted. Transcript begins. Date 8/17, 2:12 a.m. Location, Line 7 Maintenance Access, Brighton Elmhurst Section. Team, Inspector Ramos, Technician Cole, EMT Alvarez, Ramos Recorder. Beginning preliminary inspection. The area's been sealed for 9 days. Power to this section has been fully disconnected since shutdown. Cole, Jesus, what's that smell? Alvarez, like ammonia and rotten eggs. You sure this isn't a gas leak? Ramos, no readings. It's biological. Let's keep moving. Footsteps echo, dripping water audible. Cole, walls look shiny. Ramos, don't touch anything. The report said the previous worker developed a severe fungal rash. The floor is coated in a pale film, glistening under flashlight beams. Cole, something's under the floor panels. Ramos, don't. Too late. Cole steps forward. The ground gives slightly, releasing a faint hiss. A translucent fluid seeps upward. Cole, it's warm. Audio distortion detected. Ramos, Cole, back up, Cole. Screaming, static, end of audio segment. Incident summary, compiled post-recovery. When the retrieval team failed to report back, a secondary hazmat unit entered Line 7 at 5:41 a.m. They located 3 contaminated helmets and a partially fused maintenance jacket. The fabric and ID tags were integrated into the tunnel wall. Tissue analysis results. Organic samples matched human DNA with heavy fungal hybridization. Spores displayed motor response when exposed to heat. Infection appears to consume, but also repurpose host tissue into connective structure. The walls are not just covered in the organism, they are made of it. Excerpt internal email confidential. From Deputy Director H. Lyle to City Health and Infrastructure Oversight. Subject, urgent, Line 7 containment breach. We've sealed both ends with concrete, but there's evidence of spore spread through ventilation shafts. Residents near Elmhurst Station have reported white condensation on walls and respiratory irritation. Recommend full evacuation of adjacent blocks. Note, prior maintenance worker, name redacted, the one who filed the initial complaint. Body never recovered. However, forensic teams found fingerprints forming within the wall structure that match his records. The impressions appear to have grown from beneath the surface rather than pressed in. Final log, personal recording, EMT Alvarez's phone. Found inside her locker, time-stamped 08:19:03 a.m. I shouldn't have gone back down there. The walls aren't just growing, they're learning. The samples we took, they're moving. One of the petri dishes cracked open by itself. I swear I heard whispering in the vents tonight. Same rhythm as the breathing sound from the tunnel. I checked my arm. There's something under the skin. Same fibers they described. I thought it was a vein until it moved the other way. If this is uploaded, tell them not to burn it. Fire won't work. It likes the heat. God help us. It's using the tunnels to reach the surface. Recording ends. Crackling sound, followed by faint breathing, rhythmic and wet. Postscript, anonymous forum post, 5 days later. I live near Elmhurst. They've shut down the whole line for construction, but every night around 2 a.m., I can feel the floor hum. Last night, my bathroom mirror fogged up. even though it wasn't hot. When I wiped it, there was a handprint underneath. It looked translucent, like skin that forgot how to die. Outbreak compilation, recovered dataset, compiled by anonymous sources, authenticity unverified. 1. Emergency broadcast, local news feed. Anchor. We're receiving breaking news tonight regarding a developing situation beneath the city's transit system. Reports suggest multiple instances of structural collapse along the Line 7 corridor. Co-anchor. Authorities are urging residents to avoid all subway entrances until further notice. Early footage shows pauses. I'm sorry, what are we looking at? Camera zooms in on live street footage. The ground appears to rise and fall subtly, as if breathing. Anchor, quietly. Is that movement? Feed cuts to static. Internal memo, City Health Division. Subject, urgent mass mycelial contamination. From Dr. M. Resnick to Emergency Response HQ. We've confirmed airborne transmission through ventilation systems. The organism reproduces using microscopic filaments that bind to surfaces, then rewrite the surrounding organic matter into connective tissue. It does not kill the host immediately. It integrates them. Neural scans from early subjects suggest partial consciousness remains active during transformation. The organism is building something. The pattern mirrors the structure of the subway map itself, a circulatory system. Line 7 was only the beginning. 3 police dispatch recording, Unit 312, 44 a.m. Audio transcript. Dispatch, Unit 312, report your status. We've reached the station entrance. The floors, soft, like carpet, but wet. Dispatch, visual confirmation of civilians? 312, negative. Wait, hold up. Something's on the ceiling. Squelching sound, unidentified clicking. Dispatch, do you copy? 312, they're in the walls. Faces. Oh God, they're long static burst. End of transmission. 4. Social media thread. r/urban watchdog. You sleepless in city. Did anyone else hear that deep thudding sound last night? Like machinery? Underground? You fungal suspect. Yeah, I live 6 blocks from Elmhurst. My windows fog up every few hours, even when the air's cold. You Trainwreck 42. Don't open them. The stuff grows on glass. I scraped some off and it hissed. You sleepless in city. Too late. It's in my apartment walls. There's a heartbeat behind the plaster. 5. Leaked lab footage transcript. Audio distorted. Alarms audible in background. Scientist 1. It's not dying. Every time we incinerate a sample, it regenerates from the ashes. Scientist 2. Because it's converting heat into structure. It doesn't consume, it adapts. Scientist 1. Then how do we kill it? Scientist 2. You don't. You isolate it, if you can. It's learning from us. It mimics whatever touches it. Wet tearing sound. Screaming. Camera falls to the floor. The final image shows something pale and translucent crawling up the wall, dragging human shadows inside it. News excerpt. Last known broadcast. Anchor, voice trembling. We've been instructed to stay indoors, but I can hear the rumbling under the building. The floor is moving. If anyone can still hear this, don't go underground. The tunnels, deep groaning. The studio lights flicker red. Anchor. It's here. It's... Feed cuts abruptly. The last frame shows her hand pressed against the desk. Skin translucent, fingers merging with the surface. 7. Private voice message, unknown sender. Recovered from anonymous upload. Dated 9/02. I think I'm the last one left in my building. The walls are breathing in sync with me. When I stop to listen, I can feel it listening back. I used to think it was a fungus, but it's not. It's a system. A nervous system made of us. Every sound, every vibration, it remembers. That's why the tunnels hummed before the collapse. It was learning our language. I can hear the trains again, but there are no trains running. Just the sound of something enormous moving through the dark. Maybe the city isn't dying. Maybe it's becoming. Long pause. Wet breath near microphone. I can feel it growing under my skin again. The same warmth I felt that first night. If anyone's listening, don't try to fight it. It's already inside the air, the water, the walls. The city doesn't belong to us anymore. We belong to it. Silence. Then faintly, from the distance, the deep, rhythmic sound of the subway breathing. ...